wanna suck my wiener?
That sounds worse than sucking a dick. It somehow implies flaccidness. Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 37 of Ignore the Backlog podcast. My name is The Real Portz, and evil fucking Space Bunny is here. How you doing, Bunny?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not going to suck your dick.
Oh, god damn it.
I just want to get that out of the way right
What
now.
about my wiener?
I was propositioned earlier, and I don't want
What
to.
if it was my wiener? Would you suck my wiener over my dick?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Like a sloppy noodle.
You're gonna have to include that now.
One thing of chow mein. I don't know.
Ew! What? No.
It's really long and
Now
tiny.
it's
I don't know.
really
It's a weird
weird.
one. It's just wrapped up like spaghetti.
Oh, now I'm really fucking concerned about my biology of having this spaghetti
It
wieners.
looks kind of like one part of a brain.
I have a dick brain.
Yeah, you have a dick brain. It's called getting brain. So
Dick brains. I actually think with this. Okay. Anyway, hi.
that's also true. Everything you've heard so far is so true. We would never lie to you on this podcast.
Never.
Absolutely not.
How have you?
Bunny, how was your week?
Shit. It was shit.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. I shouldn't have even asked you. Now I'm a dick.
It's fine.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
fine.
Let's start over. How was my week?
Yeah.
Terrible.
How was your week? Was
Was-
it terrible too?
yeah.
Did we have shitty week?
Mine was fine. It was like a normal week, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing super special. I'm still doing voice acting
I'm
classes.
so proud of you.
And that's going pretty well, I think. We haven't gotten feedback. We're 2 weeks in, and we've only done a little bit of performance. Week 1 was mostly introduction, which is fine. I get it. But I have we only have 4 weeks left. Hopefully, it's like all. I think there's I think they overpacked the class, if I'm being honest with you.
No. That's not good.
It feels like there's not enough opportunity there.
That sucks.
But I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the end of the 6 weeks. I also think the teacher lets people drone on for way too long.
Oh, no.
Like, she needs to just, like, fucking snap that shit up. Because we're all fucking paying, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not having casual chit-chat right now.
It's like, go
You know what I
do
mean?
that outside of the fucking classroom.
Like, every fucking thing she says, somebody has something to bring up that's related to it. It's like, shut the fuck up. You're not the goddamn teacher.
Yeah.
Jesus. This would never be allowed in a real classroom.
No, definitely not.
God
That
damn.
sucks.
Although, I mean, I'm coming in a little heated. Well, I'm coming in like maybe more critical than I would be if I had never taken the class that I took in Sausalito, because that place was an amazing, like, physical place, and they've been doing it for fucking almost 40 years.
Damn.
So that was a lot different.
Yeah. I mean, especially doing classes online, it's always a lot different than, like...
Yeah, and she might be new to doing it online because, I mean, the whole
Oh.
COVID thing, so...
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like a difficult thing. And if you're like a super agreeable person,
Yeah, you don't know how
it's hard to control a room. Like, the Skype call, I think, has like 22 people in it for 2 hours.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's rough. 10 out of 10 would
Yep.
not do. Sorry.
Well, the slots, I'm pretty sure said 16 people when I signed up, but
Oh, weird.
you know,
Fuck.
I don't know.
Whatever. That sucks. Did you play some video games besides your usual, sir?
Yes, I did, and I think you knew that.
Yeah. I'm trying to draw you out right now.
Yeah.
What you play?
I played. Remember when I said I was trying to get that one game to work? Sacred?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I finally. Okay, so here's how my, what was it? Sunday, last Sunday went like this. We didn't record,
Yeah.
so I had the whole day to recover from poor sleep from the night before. So I did that, and then sometime late afternoon, evening ish, I started I started trying to get a game called Battle for Middle Earth to work. Battle for Middle Earth 2, which is a Lord of the Rings RTS game. And it took me, well, I gave up after like 4 hours.
Oh, shit.
So it's like 8 o'clock at night. Well, no. I had my timeline super wrong. I think I got up at 1 and started doing this till like 5. Yeah, I think it was about 5:30 I gave up. So like 4.5 hours of trying to get this fucking game to work because it's not for sale anywhere because it's a Lord of the Rings license deal with EA who doesn't have the license to distribute or sell anymore. So
yeah, it's one of the ones that died.
Yes,
yeah.
It went, bye-bye and dead. So I downloaded it in a method that shall not be named.
We normally don't condone these methods, but
when there's no other option, what are you gonna do?
You have to play these.
There's no license holder to even come after me. So, So I did not get that to work. There's all sort of like mounting drives and shit you have to do, and it's just like not working. So I will revisit that someday, but. After I was done with that, believe it or not, after 4.5 hours of trying to get something to work that didn't work, I was like, you know what? That one game I was trying to troubleshoot, probably easier than this, so let's try to troubleshoot that one too. And I got it to work in like 10 minutes.
Nice.
And it was amazing. I played Sacred 1 for 6 hours in a row.
Jesus. How long is that game, though?
And it was glorious, really long. It's probably like 50 hours.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. The map is so big. So I've played like 12 hours now. And the map, I think it said I have discovered less than 2% of the map.
What the fuck? How are you playing this, by the way? Or just means that are not disclosable? Yeah. How?
Oh, no. That was the Battle for Middle Earth 2. Yeah. This game, I had to turn off both my extended monitors, and I had to run it in compatibility with XP.
Okay, I'll
yeah. And I own the copy on Steam, so this one is perfectly, as are both, definitely legal.
Totally legal.
Yes. So yeah, this game is fucking awesome. The method I think I brought up the method that I wanted to try because I watched a video on it, and there's like a class that turns into this different form that has a set attack speed, which is really fast.
Okay.
But it uses the damage of your weapon. So I've been running around with a two-handed weapon, just
fucking beating the shit out of nerds.
Fucking awesome, yeah. It's getting a little samey.
Okay.
Because it's an ARPG.
Oh, yeah.
And the skill progression can be very interesting, but I think by going for this two-hander only physical damage build, I kind of pigeonholed myself into not being adventurous with my skill points. So, I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to finish on this character. I might start over and see what the other ones are like because,
Yeah.
Just to see what else is out there, because the skill system is very complicated. So I'm sure there's some interesting builds I could do that would sort of change over time instead of just stay the same from I mean, I unlocked that ability, I think like 2 hours in, so
damn.
It's just gonna be the same for 48 hours.
Yeah, no, that would kind of drive me bonkers after a bit.
Yeah. So I did it to myself, admittedly. The YouTuber I was watching, I fucking cannot remember who it was, but he had already mentioned the downsides of that build, so I was kind of ready for it, but it sounded too good to be passed up, and it crushes shit.
Crushing shit. Dominate. Won't that make it faster, though, to get through the game if you're just fucking straight up dominating?
It will. It will make it faster, yeah, that's true, but... Well, it kind of will and it won't. I kind of think maybe my build is going to top out, too, in terms of its usefulness, because it's like Diablo, like most ARPGs, the enemies scale with you, so I have to basically have the best two-hander weapon available And if I can't find one, because the shops can't seem kind of useless for two-handed, you kind of have to get lucky. And I haven't found one in like 3 or 4 levels. And it's starting to, like, I got my ass kicked by a boss, like, big time, so.
Oh, no. Fuck.
I don't know. So, I might start over, even though that will make it way longer.
Yeah. Fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, what can you do?
I mean, I did that with, like, Oblivion, starting that over and over again, just to try to find, like, the right build that I liked. Because of the leveling and scaling system, which I fucking can't stand.
The leveling in that is so weird because it's not even clear to you unless you fully understand it. Like your first time through, you don't understand the skill system.
And then you
like
get
there's
your
no
ass
way.
kicked because you're like super fucking high level, and you're like not that great.
You're like, but my acrobatics is so good.
You're like, fuck, I like all these skills.
I've been jumping everywhere.
Yeah, you go with skills that you're never ever gonna use, and that's how you fucking power level. So you have like. You're like, I'm never going to use one-handers. Yeah, it's your fucking preset, and then that's all you use, and then you just fucking dominate. So you're like level 1 with like max fucking one-handers after a while because it actually doesn't level you that fast.
Yeah.
I break that game. Anyway. What else did you play,
it's a good
though?
game. Pretty much just Dota and RuneScape and Sacred. I tried to, like I said, to get Battlefront. Oh, you know what? I bought the Command & Conquer 1 remake thing.
Oh, how do you like it?
The intro was fucking awesome.
Such a good game.
They do this weird thing in the intro. I assume it's a callback to something they do in the intro of the original game, where it's like calibrating your hard drive and getting all the settings correct. Like obviously it's doing nothing.
Yeah.
But what it did was like start in this old ass graphics, and it was like status version blah blah blah, and then it like upgrades you to HD in quotes, as the video goes along.
That's pretty good.
I thought that was kind of corny and neat.
I mean, those games are really corny. Do they still have some like live actors and stuff like that too?
Yes, yes they do.
I'm gonna have to get that.
It's the same scenes. Like they didn't change the live action stuff.
Okay, good, because that's like one of my favorite things about those games was these cheesy live actions, and
Absolutely.
It wasn't really. I think after Command & Conquer, a lot of other games tried to capture that same like.
The only other successful franchise in my mind, well, I mean, there's some that I probably don't know that much about. Like Zork Grand Inquisitor has some great FMV shit in it. But the Need for Speed
that's right.
is probably the peak. Like the acting and stuff. It's so like we're aware, but we're not aware of how aware we could be. Like
also Resident
just
Evil, the original, like the old ass one.
The intro to Resident Evil 1 is really weird because I didn't know that it was. I didn't know it was in it, and so when I played it for the first time, like 2 or 3 years ago, I booted it up. I was like, what in the fuck is this? Because I have this image of my mind, like tank controls and fucking cameras and shit, and then this fucking FMV that I go, no one ever talks about this.
I think a lot of people forget about that like little weird intro that is all live action, and like it's all because of Command & Conquer. Kind of like everybody trying to captivate on this because they're like, oh, we can actually do like live action shots and put them on a CD and then include them in a game. And it was like this big like fucking like mind blower for everybody. And then like graphics improved and everybody's like, oh, this looks way cooler. Yeah.
The awesome thing about Command & Conquer was they got A-listers.
Yeah.
They got fucking James Earl Jones. Fucking Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I fucking love Tim Curry. He's like one of my favorite human beings ever, honestly.
That in space line that he does is just the best fucking thing in the world. It's so good. He like does the little like SNL break laugh before he says it too. It's so good.
Such a good guy.
Yeah, so that was my week. What'd you do?
Okay. So I played a couple games. I played my normal usual Minecraft, obviously, because that's my staple on my stream. But I decided to hate myself and play Sekiro for the first time.
I saw this in your achievements, and I almost messaged you, but I was like, I'll ambush you on stream at first anyway. But I forgot to fucking do that.
So I played this, and I was like having so much fun, and I was like fucking dominating all the little guys and stuff like that. And then I get to like that first fucking like general dude, and he just eats my fucking face.
Are you talking about the guy on the horse?
I don't remember, but yeah, no. And like he just fucking destroys me over and over again, and I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna go grind some fucking souls. And then he just kicks my ass over and over again. But I will say this compared to Dark Souls. So I played Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls 3. I didn't play Dark Souls 2. So I played the original. The original sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat this shit.
It sucks now.
It sucks now, and it sucked then because, like, you would fucking get poisoned. You couldn't fucking cure that poisoned, and then half the time your fucking hits would hit the goddamn wall, and it was fucking pointless. So it just was infuriating. That's why Dark Souls was hard, because you couldn't hit shit, and you had tiny corridors, and you would hit the wall. Anyway.
Jeez, prepared a Rage Edition, am I right?
Sorry. But, yes.
They fixed that in 3? You don't hit the walls anymore?
Not as badly, no. It's not as bad. And, like, in 3, like, I made, like, a little fast, like, two-handed dagger person. And I would just be like, and, like, just fucking run and, like, murder little things. And then I'd roll away. But in Sekiro, you can't roll. You have this dash mechanic, which is okay-ish. But it's not as good as the fucking fat rolling in Dark Souls. And also I noticed bad guys can turn as you dash, and they'll just fucking smack you in the middle of a dash, and it is the worst thing ever. And I'm just like, I hate everything. So I threw my controller, and I was done with that game for a while. Like, I have too much shit going on in my life, too much drama. I don't need this right now. So I decided to take a break. And like you, I decided to play a game that's ancient Egypt and old as fuck. Called Still Life. This game came out in like 2005.
I have this, I think.
Yeah, you do. And I do too. And I have the original CD of this game when it came out, because this is what kind of got me into obsession with murder. I never beat this game. I always had like this weird fascination with like solving crimes and stuff like that. And that's always been like a weird like underlying passion. But this game was one of the games that like ignited that whole thing, and I just fucking went down a rabbit hole. Okay, so spoil it for me now. Is this worth playing today? I think it kind of is, because it's a weird point and click game. I haven't beaten it yet. I'll be honest with you. I maybe like a couple hours in, but it is a point and click game. And it's kind of like Monkey Island, where it's super cryptic as fuck sometimes. Oh. So, like, there's this part with the key card, and you're like, oh. Do they at least have, like, a hint system? No. It's old. It's old, dude. It's 2005, and it has... I mean, there were hint systems before that. Yeah, but there wasn't hint systems in Monkey Island, was there? No. Exactly. So this game takes a lot of, like, little things from Monkey Island. One of the things that I noticed is, like, the mouse just, like, constantly move when they're talking. They're just like, ba 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 ba, like that, rather than, like, actually trying to go along with the words. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is 2005. Nobody knows how to animate a mouth. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't match what they're saying at all. And, like, I think a lot of, like, people were trying to do shit like this to simulate who was talking in the conversation. It's like, well, I should obviously know between these two people who is who, because one's a dude and one's a chick. So, like, you know, but it was just kind of funny. But, yeah, so because we talked about being Detective Bunny last week, this is why I booted this up. And there's, like, a lot of little weird things that I noticed about playing this game for the first time in, like, almost 15 years. And there's no music. And in the game. And there's, in certain spots, there's, like, white noise and, like, background noise and stuff like that to simulate, like, an office. but then there's like mostly just this weird white noise, and it puts you on this.
It's so weird.
It's really weird, and it kind of puts you on edge, and I kind of understand why they did it, because it definitely puts you on edge, because this whole thing, even though it's a point and click, and you're trying to solve these murders from this like guy who kind of tributes back to Jack the Ripper, it was good, because like I had this weird sense of dread the entire time I'm playing it, and there's this fucking white noise in the background. It reminded me of Silent Hill 1, where you just had the weird like white noise, and then the radio would go off when fucking shit was going down.
I have been misled, bamboozled.
What do you mean bamboozled?
Tricked. Before, because I fell for the positive reviews and spent 10 hours of my life playing a game with no conclusion, and honestly, I feel so blindsided and empty. I honestly have never been so upset at the ending of a game, and I have played Life is Strange.
Wait, Life is Strange or Still Life?
This they were comparing the end of those two games.
I got you.
I was just like looking at the reviews, and this negative review is like 30 books long.
Damn, they were really passionate about that.
It's so long. They like really wanted the concept and
Why
all that.
Why didn't they play the second
apparently
one?
The end isn't very good.
Apparently there's a second one.
I don't know.
I figured.
Well, probably because they don't want to get literally fucking misled and bamboozled.
Well, the funny thing is, because I knew it was like they built up the murderer as this Jack the Ripper. I had a feeling that's what's gonna be the ending to this game. It's gonna be inconclusive, just like Jack the fucking Ripper. Nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Just like real life, usually.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Okay, so the last game I'm gonna talk about, and I'm gonna shit all over this because it made me angry. I'm just shitting on everything today. Fuck.
I love shitting on stuff.
I know you do.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's like my favorite thing. Even when I don't have to go.
I gotta go forever.
Let's shit on some stuff. Come on.
Okay, so whoa. So on Sunday, since we didn't record, I decided to play some VR games because I've been playing mostly just Beat Saber for fucking ever and VR chat, and every once in a while I'll reboot up Half-Life Alyx just to relive that ending again. But I decided to play the seated VR, which is the Hellblade game.
Oh.
And this game is on it's a PlayStation port, right? I'm assuming it's a PlayStation port. Was it on PlayStation exclusive? I can't remember. Or was this?
I don't know. It seems like it would be, but I also think it's because like I confused the art of God of War in that game.
Yeah, I love this. So Hellblade is one of those weird success games. I think it was PlayStation, because PlayStation tends to pick up more indie games than Xbox. And this is an indie game developer that was like a small 20-man team, and they just fucking produced this A-list game and blew everybody out of the water. I've heard nothing but
their budget for the game I heard was it was nowhere near what you would think it would be.
No, it was like really, really low budget, and like okay, let me get into it. So this game immediately warns you that it's a seated VR. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can do that. And so I sit down in my VR headset and I have my little knuckles in my hands, which is fine. And it's very weird because, like, it gives you this warning that says that this is an intense and disorienting game. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. My first, like, real VR experience was Half-Life Alyx, and I think that was a fucking intense game. I was like, I think I'll be okay. But this game is different. It's third person. So you're behind the main character, Sesuna. I'm probably butchering her name. Yeah. But
I think it's Setsu. Isn't there a T in it?
No, it's Senua. Sesuna's sacrifice?
Senua?
Senua, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Senua.
yeah.
So you're behind her the entire time, and the camera is moving for you during certain cutscenes. And during these cutscenes, some of them are really cool because you can like look around in this 3D environment, and you're just like looking around, and there's these voices that are going off in your head, and they're like yelling at you, and they're telling you, why aren't you looking around? And I'm like, fuck, I'll look around. Shit, okay. So I'm looking around, and it's immediately very disorienting. Because you're behind her as she paddles down a river on this, like, little boat log. And you're halfway in the water. And the thing about VR that makes it less disorienting is being able to see where your hands are and having, like, a sense of depth. So immediately your depth is cut off because you're halfway underwater. So it's, like, up to your chest, and you're like...
Oh, I'm fucking sick already.
It gets worse. So, like, after that, I'm like, okay, fine. And then it gets into third person, and you're controlling the character, and you're walking around the environment. So you're basically the camera. So you can look around and control your character in a different direction than you're looking. And it's kind of an interesting concept. So I'm going through this whole thing, and I finally get to my first combat encounter. And it's not very far in. It's like maybe 20 minutes into this game. And the combat's fine. I'm doing the combat with the knuckles, with the different buttons on each knuckle. And then it does this weird cutscene. And it's an intense cutscene because your character, she gets like this curse in her hand, and it's slowly creeping towards her brain. And this is like this weird, cool, actually, mechanic. I thought this mechanic was hella cool, but fuck this cutscene. Because, like, the mechanic is every time you fail, the corruption spreads. And you only have so many fail attempts before your entire save is wiped.
No.
Yeah. And I think that's fucking cool. I'm like, all right, I can handle this. But this cutscene was so disorienting where it puts you as the camera, because she literally falls to the ground and she's freaking out, and the camera is right by her face on the ground. So your head is barely above the ground as the camera. So, like, as you're like, your head is in the fucking, your body is in the dirt, and it's just so disorienting, and you can't position yourself any other way because they want you to see this cutscene from this angle. And I'm just screaming, why is this a VR game? As I get disoriented and nauseous, and it's to the point where I almost throw up.
My god. Is this a is it a direct port? Like, they didn't really, I guess it's not a new VR experience, right? It's just the game?
It is a new VR experience. That's the thing, is like, I don't know why they kept some of the cutscenes like this.
Yeah.
And it's so, like,
interesting.
some of the cutscenes are really cool because they're 3D and you can look around, and then some of the cutscenes are like, it zooms out and it looks like you're looking at a fucking IMAX. And I'm like, why is this in VR? I'm literally screaming, why is this in VR? And I don't
feel like, so you're controlling the character when it's third person? How is that explained? That's so bizarre.
I don't know. And, like, apparently there's, like, a couple other, like, third-person VR games that are really successful.
You know what game would be fucking amazing in VR?
What?
Just the concept of Beyond Two Souls. Have you played that game?
No, I haven't.
Because the chick has a, like, invisible creature friend that follows her around.
Right.
So
okay.
If you were floating above her like this, that would be fucking awesome, because it would be justified in the universe, and you could sort of do your own thing.
Right. That would actually be
awesome.
Really fucking cool. Okay, I'd be down with
that.
That
would be so fucking cool.
Get on this fucking shit. But, like,
yeah, I know it's coming to PC, but I don't think it's coming to VR.
But, like,
I don't know if the graphics have aged well enough for it to be a direct VR port.
Anyway. So, like, I was like, I'm like, do people like this? And I went and looked around on YouTube, and there's so many people sucking this game's dick in VR. And I'm like, how are you fucking not wanting to die. Like, I think I have a pretty ironclad stomach, but I felt like I got a headache and I wanted to throw up, and I almost threw up.
I think
and I wanted to die.
I would genuinely pass out if I had to play that game. I think like I get really bad motion sick. Like if I sit too close in a theater. I don't think I'd do well with that.
Yeah, no, I never had a problem with like Half-Life Alyx or anything like that, and like I've been doing dancing in VR chat and all this other crazy shit, but this game fucked me up so bad. I went and laid down for like 2 hours till I felt better. I was so mad, but I got it. I want to keep playing this game because it seems really fucking good, and like I don't think I'm.
Can you play the non-VR version?
I bought the non-VR version because I didn't want to deal with it in VR.
Oh shit! You had to pay for it twice, then, sort of. Why?
It's fine. It's fine. I think it'll be worth it in the end. So
yeah, that's cool.
But anyway, that's what I ended up playing.
How does you would think they have a QA department for that, right? Like, how does that make it past QA?
I don't know.
Like, because you would think you would just put them on the fucking people who are testing it, and they'd be like, "Oh, I guess
that's why they did that warning at the beginning that said that this is a very intense game," and it's like,
sure, but if you can't get through it, it's not like that warning should be for people like me, not regular fucking people.
I don't know. It was weird because they do it every hour and a half or so, and take a 5-minute break, and I'm like, okay. Like Half-Life Alyx has a warning like that too, and I played that game I think for 6 to 7 hours straight. So
yeah, the whole point of VR is you want to live in the world, motherfuckers.
Fucking stop.
How you gonna re-immerse every 1 hour and 40 minutes or whatever?
I was pissed. It's whatever, but
yeah.
Oh well.
Fair enough. What else did you play?
That's it. That was it for me.
Oh.
I know, nice. I didn't beat any games again. I feel kind of dirty, but it was a shit week. I think most of you know what's going on.
Yeah. So. Yeah, absolutely.
But, all right, you ready for some fucking news?
I'm ready for some fucking news. Yeah, we're talking Belle Delphine, baby. Let's go.
Yeah! You watched that video, right? I was like...
Of course I did!
Thank you. Thank you.
I watched it at work.
Oh my god, you watched that shit at work? That shit's gonna get taken down so fast. I was actually really surprised. I'm surprised this is still up after 2 hours of upload.
I mean, there's no nudity in it.
Yeah, but other stuff has been taken down for fucking lesser.
Yeah, I guess. Not sexual stuff though, right? Most stuff I'm trying to think. They keep some sketchy shit in that way.
Fair.
On YouTube.
I mean,
YouTube's weird about certain stuff, but I don't. They're not like Twitch where they're you have to crop your shirt in this way and it can't cover these squares of your skin. And they're not like that. Yeah, Jesus.
That's fair. Anyway, yeah. So Belle Delphine's back. She's fucking promoting her fucking fans only. So if you have no, I'm kidding. Anyway.
If you have $35 a month,
please give it to us.
Please send it to me.
We're
Got him.
Anyway, so the PlayStation 5. What is it? I don't know. Did you see all the fucking memes relating to what it looked like?
It's impossible to say if I did see all of them, but I certainly did see a lot.
Oh my god, they're fucking money. Just
Yes. I agree. Some of my favorites include the tower, the Lord of the Rings eye tower.
Yep.
That was pretty fucking good. What was the other one? There was one a character from Yu-Gi-Oh or some shit.
That's my favorite
some
one.
Anime.
And I'm yes, it looks exactly
Yeah, that one is fucking amazing. It literally looks like it's conceivable that an artist looked at that dude and was like, I could make that a video game console. Yeah. I think it looks pretty cool. I also stand with everyone. I never do that. I usually stand somewhere else.
You normally are
I'm not invited.
Separate.
I'm just in a different room. But let me tell you this. That disc tray is fucking ugly.
Yeah. It's not pretty.
What were they thinking?
Why didn't they just do it where you just slid the disc in like before? Why are they bringing back a tray? What is this, 2009? Come on.
I don't know. Also, is it gonna be a 360 scenario where they're like, yeah, in all the commercials we show it upright, but you're actually supposed to have it horizontal?
I think so, because like I've seen a lot more advertisements for it now, and it's on its side.
That's way worse. I want the Tower of Dubai.
The tower, yeah. I want the fucking stupid ass tower so I can paste that fucking Yu-Gi-Oh character's head on the back when I fucking get this stupid piece of shit. Mostly just to play one game so far. Actually, no, two. But that's beside the point. So some of the top. So this was announced. Obviously, the hardware, giving more detail that was originally given to us last year, so they gave us more details on that. Some of the games that are now being included is like Spider-Man, this kick-ass game that I think is really fucking cool looking called Deathloop. And
so let's dive into the Spider-Man thing for a second, because I got fucking confused when that got announced. I watched it and I was like, new Spider-Man game, awesome. And then on Twitter I saw somebody post, oh, it was really scummy of Sony to not just be upfront about the fact that it is not a new Spider-Man game, it's an expansion. I was like, what? The rumor was, for whatever reason, there was some executive at Sony or something that like just didn't understand what it was. He had said it's like an expansion to the game, the main game. But what he meant was it's a standalone
expansion,
larger expansion. It's not even it's almost not even an expansion. It's almost like
its own independent
more miniature game. It's like Fallout or not Fallout, fucking Uncharted, whatever the fuck it's called.
Fuck.
The supplementary one to 4. I forget what the fuck it was called, but it's its own thing.
It's gonna be separate. It is gonna be, like you said, an extension of the Spider-Man that came out on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's still gonna be,
which I haven't played, by the way, and I want to so bad.
I've seen.
I think I'm back. Like, me and video games that aren't RuneScape and Dota, or we're kind of back a little bit.
That's gonna make me excited and want to play more video games and beat your ass. But
yeah. I don't know. We've talked about it a little bit offline. We didn't really address it on the podcast. I've sort of given up a little bit on the beating games. And I think it's like what I said in the beginning was, I don't want this to ruin video games for me. So I'm really enjoying like the idea of just dropping Sacred whenever it bores me. I love like that idea. To me is liberating. I couldn't choose between liberation and liberty. And I just went liberty. Yeah. It's very
liberating. Yeah.
For me.
No, I get that. But if you start beating games again, that's gonna get me back on that pony.
I'm just like secretly beating all of them.
Anyway, also speaking of Dark Souls, Demon Souls, that's getting remastered. So maybe we'll have to deal with that poison mechanic and fucking banging on walls some more. Which,
did you ever play Demon Souls?
It's the same.
Was it very much like Dark Souls 1?
Yeah. Anyway. I like Dark Souls 3. Anyway. Yeah, the only...
That's fair. I mean, lots of people shit on me for liking Mass Effect 2 over 1, so...
That's fair. I never played the second one. The third one was really good. The only reason why I ended up picking up...
Wait. You played 1 and 3?
I skipped the middle.
Why?
Because!
2 is a masterpiece.
The only reason why I ended up picking up those games again, because like I said, fuck it after the first one, because of all those shitty mechanics that I complained about like literally 10 minutes ago, was because somebody bought me the third one, and I was like, I'll play with you, I guess. And then I ended up enjoying it. I'm like, okay, this was better.
I think I want to do a Mass Effect 2 Insanity
Oh my god,
run.
do it.
On stream. Or for videos, maybe.
Ooh, you gonna start doing some
I don't know.
videos?
I want to try it at least. Like, I haven't really started trying. It's intimidating.
It is intimidating.
I don't know where to begin, man.
I just put out my second YouTube video ever.
I was listening to a RuneScape podcast, because that's where I'm at in my life, and
that's me dying.
So I heard it. It's a little bit of me dying too. It's just quieter. So it was 3 content creators talking to each other, and they were talking. So 2 of them are YouTubers, and one of them is a Twitch person. And the YouTube creators were like, "Man, I can't fathom going live every day and being there for like 6 hours." They're like, "That's just like." They're like, I turn it on for like an hour and a half, and I get sleepy, and I'm just like, I have no energy left. I have to leave. And then the chick was like, I can't imagine sitting there writing out what you want to fucking do and like scoping it, and then sitting there and editing for hours. She's like, that intimidates the shit out of me and exhausts the fuck out of me. I was like, yeah, I feel the fuck out of that. Like YouTube shit just like sounds like a goddamn nightmare to me because there's a reason I leaned into improv instead of writing. It's because I like to just let the moment happen, and I don't want to fucking think about the next 5 minutes,
exactly.
You know?
That's why we're better at streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
No. Yeah.
Agreed. I back when YouTube was like mostly Let's Plays and like unedited shit for the most part, except the beginning and the end, that shit I loved. But now you can't get away with doing that.
No. You definitely have to bring some production value. But even the same thing goes with streaming and stuff like that, too. You're going to take somebody a little bit more serious that has some stuff that's, like, upgraded and, like, some graphics and, like, basic shit rather than somebody who has nothing.
It's kind of unbelievable how high the ceiling is for production.
Yeah, it gets higher and higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
absolutely.
on it.
I think I'm at my peak right now. Like I don't know. I can't imagine doing more than I'm doing now unless I had more space. If I had more space, I would like be in a completely green room. That way I could like get up and be an idiot and still have it green screened. I think that would be fun.
Get up and be an idiot. I think it would be great if you knocked over your green screen and showed us everything.
I don't want that kind of idiocy. I want protected, my controlled idiocy.
Anyway.
Pseudo idiocy, as I call it.
All right, so let's get back into the PlayStation. So another game.
Oh yeah, the news.
The news we rambled on. This is gonna be the longest
episode
news ever.
It's always
it always feels that way.
We did record an intro for like 20 minutes.
Shh, that's beside the point. They don't need to know this.
Okay.
So there's also this other game where you're a cat and you play in a world of robots, which is making me want to throw so much money at Sony just to play this fucking game called Stray. There's also this other game that I just looked up the other day that actually looks pretty good, and you might like it too, called Kena? K-E-N-A, but it's also another indie game developer that Sony is
I feel like I saw that. Did it have like kind of an abstract-y art style?
Kind of, but not. It's more like cutesy and chibi, I guess you can say.
I don't think I'm thinking of the same thing, and I doubt I would like that just based off that description.
It's not super chibi, but it does have a very distinct style, and I think it's cute. But the biggest problem that I've noticed with this Sony launch is they avoided the price. And there was a leak recently about it saying that this is going to be the price, and then Sony's like, no, that's not actually going to be the price. Don't worry about it. But there's been conflicting reports anywhere from like $450 to like $599 on how much this thing's going to cost. Yeah,
well, here's what it's going to be. No disc version, $500. Disc version, $600.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I think
guaranteed.
It's gonna be,
take that to the bank.
I think it is going to be close to like $700. I think this is going to be an expensive system, and then they might do a slimmer version eventually also down the road. Like after the initial launch, maybe in like a year or so. Like they always do.
You know what I was thinking? I need to get into more games that are on the platform I love the most, like, and only on this platform. I do play Dota, which is a MOBA that's only here. But like Civilization, I never fucking play. I don't play the Total War games. I do like them. I really want to play Warhammer 2, but it's like never on sale. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I have a lot of like PC, the PS4 probably has the games I want to play the most, but it's so annoying for me to set it up and fucking have it around.
You need me to yell at your lady and she'll beat you into doing it?
Who do you think She is. She's not that kind of
She's
person.
Gonna be you.
The bartender that I see all the time at fucking Buffalo Wild Wings tried to do this to me. And she was like, "I'm gonna meet your girlfriend and tell her that you're a terrible person." I was like, obviously she's kidding like you are. But I was like,
I'm not.
You haven't met her. She's the smallest, sweetest fucking person in the goddamn world. You can't turn her against me.
I'll just come over there and kick your ass until you do it. How about that?
Yeah,
okay.
That's fair enough. I believe in that.
I'll just come over and kick your ass. Okay. So May had the best month so far in older games, like being like the so May had the best fucking video game sales that we've seen in like fucking years. Yeah,
we did?
Surge almost $1 billion sold in like video games.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking like good for the consumer, like lowest sales.
Oh, no, like sales like in for
the
developers.
Sale numbers, okay.
Video game people.
Got it.
And like if Venture Beat did this amazing breakdown from the MPD, and if you don't know what the MPD is, they're these people who basically do marketing. And they collect all this data from different sales points and stuff.
Do they still only do retail? I know they were locked into retail for like years.
They mostly do retail, but they actually started. So if you look at this chart, you can actually see on this article by VentureBeat where it says this included digital sales and this did not include digital sales. So this report of almost 1 billion, it was like just short like a couple million, which it's a fucking couple million, but it shows how much chart sales were sold. And like Call of Duty Modern Warfare made a huge surge back. GTA 5 made a huge surge too, mostly probably because both of these games, like Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, but Grand Theft Auto was free in the month of May from Epic.
But their sales still went up?
Yeah, their sales still went up. This wasn't number of units sold. This was actually like reported in dollar sales for the game. And on top of that, like they included things like Minecraft and Minecraft Dungeons. And the thing about both of those games, they didn't include online sales for either of those games. So physical copies of those games made huge profits. And Call of Duty Modern Warfare, doesn't it have the free BR that has like a bunch of like little DLC? Yeah. That's my biggest thing that I think that people went to and throwing money at right now. But
that makes sense.
It's fucking insane, like how much we spent last month in video games.
Do you want to know how much I've spent on Dota in the last 2 months?
How much have you spent in Dota in the last 2 months? Some of it was your birthday, like fucking redemption.
That's true.
Okay. What was it with total? Give me the total.
Wait, how do you know that?
You told me.
Dude, you guys talk about everything? I need to have a conversation with you guys.
Everything. We're like best friends
when
we play Minecraft.
Jesus.
I'm kidding. Right. He's like, what did you get him?
All right. No, I'm just saying. All right.
And I was like, I got him some stupid RuneScape shit. He's like, oh, I got him the Dota thing. And I'm like, that's probably pretty smart.
Oh, he just gave me Steam cash.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You gave him that.
Anyway.
How much did you spend on Dota?
Yeah. I've spent over $200
$200 in 2 months?
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair because
I have
go ahead.
Really sexy outfits for my characters, though.
What characters?
One of you would love Queen of Pain.
Oh, I love
you
Queen
would
of Pain.
love
She's
her.
like one of my favorite characters.
No, the way she looks
girl.
now. Yeah.
Is it as
ass hot spankable spoon?
You goddamn fucking animal. What?
Yeah. So how are your poor life choices going?
I bought so many video games that I have yet to touch. That's been my thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. What else happened?
Stuff. AT&T. Did you know AT&T owns Warner Brothers Entertainment? I didn't either until this article came out. PC Games released this article talking. Well, everybody was fucking talking about this. So AT&T is looking to sell Warner Brothers Entertainment. This includes a lot of like the smaller companies that are under the Warner Brothers Entertainment, which includes Rocksteady Games, Mulayeth Games, and the Avalanche software, which is like, you know, Lego games, Batman Arkham games, and the Lord of the Rings games, the only ones that I actually like. This is the only Lord of the Rings content that I actually like, which is the Middle-earth games.
Which is?
They're really fucking...
Well, you have played those?
Fucking phenomenal.
Aren't they fucking
so
awesome?
Good. Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone ever talk about that? Yeah, I love that game. Well, I've only played the second one in the expansion. I missed the first one.
The first one's really good. That's the main one I play. I think I own the second one on Steam, and I haven't touched it in a long time. But they're...
You own it on Steam? I'm so jealous.
I think they're
I wish
both
I had
on
a digital
Steam
copy
now.
of that fucking game. No, you're thinking of a different game.
Maybe. Anyway, so both EA and Activision are trying to compete against each other for AT&T's love and affection. They both expressed intense interest in buying these games. Honestly, I kind of want EA to get these if they do buy this over Activision. The reason being is like EA actually seems to try to be attempting to turn a new leaf with the new games, and actually they're starting to listen to their consumer again. Unlike Activision, which is just taking remasters and pumping them out like fucking hard candy, you know?
Yeah. How is it that we're posited with two possible companies to take this over, and we're choosing EA?
I feel really dirty for saying that. My chat's gonna fucking yell at me if they hear this. Don't tell them.
Yeah, but Activision is obviously worse. They're so out of touch.
They're very out of touch now. But the estimated rumor going price right now for Warner Brothers Entertainment is $4 billion, and I think AT&T originally picked him up for like $10 million. And so
does Warner Brothers include their like cartoons and like the
cartoon games?
Like, it's not just video games,
it's just
right?
Their video games industry. It's not like the cartoons or anything like that. It's just the gaming aspect. That.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
So they would own the rights to make Warner Brothers licensed video games?
And they would own these like smaller companies like Rocksteady and Mulayeth and Avalanche.
Yeah, but that's so crazy because I wonder what those licenses are like, because if they buy the studio that makes those games, Batman is a way deeper brand than Warner Brothers. So how is there an existing license like that would transfer over? Or does that studio just have the right to make Batman games?
I think they have the right to make the Arkham games specifically, because that's what is under Rocksteady.
But there's no way they have that in perpetuity. No one would give that up. Not for Batman.
I mean, they won't have access to all of Batman, and they won't be able to like say that this is canon, but they will be able to possibly use like source materials and stuff that is related to Arkham games. I think that's how it's going to go. Like, this is still all pending. This isn't final or anything. So until we actually see the sale, we won't be able to see what these contracts are actually like.
I mean, if that is the case, that'd be really cool, because it would open up. I don't know if I need more Batman games. Not in the same style. Arkham Knight was so boring. It was so fucking boring. No, not. No, actually, I had some technical issues that stopped me from getting into that. But even I didn't have like the motivation to fix them.
Oh.
Like normally, I would be like, oh fuck, I gotta get this fucking worked out. But you're thinking of the Shadow of Mordor, Lord of the Rings games.
Not that one. No, Middle Earth.
No, it's not Middle Earth, because they're not on Steam.
I'm pretty sure they are. Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor. Oh, it is. Yeah, this one.
Oh, so I was thinking Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth.
No, they're called Middle Earth.
The game I was talking about.
They're not canon.
No, of course they're not. They have fucking Shelob as a sexy lady.
What can I do?
Have you played the second one, Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, I have it.
But you played it, like all the way through?
No. But I've definitely played it a lot.
There's some amazing like fan fiction elements in that game.
No, don't tell me this shit. Anyway, let's.
Not like sexual, weirdo, but it breaks the canon. Like, there's no way anyone could ever consider it canon. It's so absurd. The shit that happens.
It's definitely not canon. So, earlier this week, EA had a leak. So to go back to EA, anyway, EA had.
And the janitor fixed it, and end of story.
End of story. I'm switching. You're talking about Shelob and a sexual tension. It's worrying me, so I'm gonna go back to EA. EA had a leak in its video game.
Boobs.
I hate you. EA had a leak in its video game department. Shocker, I know. This has happened multiple times to them. This is how we got Apex and Anthem. Both were released because of leaks. So they announced a new Star Wars game to get ahead of this leak called Star Wars Squadron. We just both watched the trailer right before recording this, and how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel like people will never let anything die. And I'm kind of excited.
I know, it's the worst. It's like, fuck!
I really feel like I shouldn't encourage it because, I mean, Battlefront wasn't good, and then Battlefront 2 was really bad, and then good, but the single player was always pretty good, but if a little shallow. So I don't know. It'll be a fun thing to pick up on sale, probably. Yeah.
I mostly just want to.
I don't know. I need more details. Like, what is the single player? Like, is there going to be multiplayer? The multiplayer, I think if there is multiplayer and it's like a huge focus, I will probably yes. Multiplayer. No, I'm out. I have no interest. None whatsoever.
So it's reported that the main
focus...
No,
of course I didn't.
I know you didn't. It's reported that the main focus is going to be multiplayer with a, like, still single-player campaign. But what we saw in the trailer that just came out is that it was showing both sides versus each other, 5-man teams, and, like, this dogfight. And
You know why it can't be just single-player? You know why, Danny? You know why that is? MTX, baby. Gotta get that fucking paper.
Actually, you know what they did announce with this potentially? That there might not be any microtransactions.
I doubt that's true because they're probably gonna have cosmetic.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna add cosmetics.
There's no way you don't.
No way. Everybody does it nowadays, which sucks, and I'm able to easily avoid it in every fucking video game that I play. So.
You know what's funny? I'm sure there must be one person who's listening to this and they're like, Portz, you fucking hypocrite. You just said you spent $200 and something on Dota 2. And you're fucking right. I am a hypocrite. I don't want it in games, but when it's there and it's good, I buy it.
That's fair.
That's why I don't want it in games.
I don't really do it very often. I do it like every once in a while. There was this one game, my Smite, and like my friends were calculating how much they spent on Smite, and they spent like easily like $1,200. And meanwhile,
Steam will do that for you. $5. Yeah, I think I've talked about how much I've spent on Dota lifetime total, and it's disgusting. Shan't be repeated, but it's a lot.
So many dollars.
Yep. Buy a used car.
Buy a used car. Port's motto: Dota. I could have bought a used car.
I hope you like the way my character looks, because it's a 2001 Toyota Corolla.
Only had 200,000 miles on it. But anyway, so Star Wars Squadron is set to release this year.
No, it's Squadron.
Squadron. Sorry,
Ron's the name
Star
of the character.
Wars Squadron.
Mm-hmm.
It's set to release in October 2nd of this year. So it's weird that they like said that this was a leak and then they like announced the trailer and everything and then they're like, oh, it's coming out in like a few months. So here you go.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, okay.
So I think a lot of times companies like let things leak because it's like more exciting.
Oh, maybe.
I think this is probably that case because we're pretty fucking near, right? Like they would have announced this at something if they wanted to build hype. Nope, they wanted to save it for it's so long. It's so long. Like, of course, you're going to, 4 months before it comes out, of course it's going to get fucking late.
Right.
Of course. That's my tinfoil hat.
We'll put on your tinfoil hat for EA. But then again, like I said, a lot of their last few games have all been releases from a leak. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be a marketing thing.
It's probably
it just,
like,
come on.
Rockstar is just like, we're just going to put a thing up online.
Yeah.
And EA is like,
I like that way of doing it. I like that way of like teasing it, and because that builds, like, I think even more interest for me personally.
No, for sure. For sure.
And then all the theories come out, and it's fun. It's fun to participate in that.
For sure. Okay.
I don't have any good theories because I just can't remember what things are. So I look at the image and I'm like, I don't know, it's probably some reference to a video game. I don't know.
It's a Rockstar game. It'll be good. It's fine. They're gonna milk it.
Yeah. Remember Rockstar Table Tennis? It was amazing.
Remember Rockstar Skyrim? I do. Anyway. So we're couple quick things, and then I want to go into one little thing. We'll put on our tinfoil hats back for this other thing, but.
Ooh, yeah.
The Witcher is giving all people who have it on the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 a PC version, since you won't be able to play it on the next-gen consoles. So, good guy CD Projekt Red is keeping their promises. Like, they said that they were going to do a copy for the next-gen for when the PlayStation... Because it's going to come out before the PlayStation 5 launches, right? So you'll be able to play it on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. That's one of the things that they advertised when they did this. But now they're...
So we're talking about Cyberpunk?
Yeah, Cyberpunk, sorry. And now they're going to offer it with the Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, which I think is a masterpiece, and you also think is a masterpiece.
Obviously.
But they announced that they're like, hey, since you're not going to be able to play this on your older consoles or the newer consoles, if you don't keep your older consoles, we're going to give you basically a free PC key on GOG.
Yeah, hey, people that are trading in your PS4 for the $100 store credit you're going to get GameStop, why don't you go out and buy an $1,800 PC and play The Witcher 3?
Exactly.
No, it is a good guy move, but I think that the amount of people excited for that are probably not
very many, but I still think it's a good move that this company is.
Agreed. Free shit is awesome.
Exactly. I think.
Can they give me a free console version?
No, that's what I said. I'm like, where's my fucking PlayStation 3 version? I'm kidding.
That would be bad.
That would be the worst fucking looking thing ever.
Still not as bad as the Switch.
Shots fired. But
okay, tinfoil hat time or no?
One more thing. So, Steam. Remember how we talked about this like months and months ago? Steam is finally doing their Steam Game Festival, the summer edition. It's live now. It just launched yesterday, Tuesday, and it's all the way through June 22nd. There is a shit ton of demos. And there is access to the devs where you get to chat with them and you get to do live streams and like demos and stuff, all celebrating a ton of indie games. So I have a shit ton of these games on my wish list, and then it popped up with this nice little feature. It's like, hey, these are all demos. You can try these games right now. I have 15 of them, and then I downloaded 20 more demos. What is wrong with me? But that is beside the point.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There are so many games right now, and I'm like really excited for this because I think this is a really good move to get back into demos again to check out like games. Because
you remember demos?
It's making a comeback.
I think the last demo I played, no goddamn joke, was Mass Effect.
Holy shit.
And that was like 2006.
Right. Holy fuck. But yeah, so this really cool, like, there's different features happening every day. Like, there's action, there's adventure, simulation, strategy, and they have like recommendations based off of games that you currently own, and then they will have featured demos that are happening at that time, as well as like the devs, and they'll show you when the devs are going to be live. So like there's this game that I've been like following for a long time called Skatebird, and they have a demo for it finally, and then they have a talk with the devs at like 4 o'clock, which is now. So I'm gonna go. No, I'm kidding. But I think it's really cool. This is a great replacement for E3 since we don't have that this year due to the current situation that we are in. But
yes.
Yeah, this makes me so happy. So go check those out. Go support a bunch of indie devs because it's a lot of indie games. So if you're like me, you love your small guy, go support them. Go add them to your wish list. That helps them out immensely, and that helps them get funding. So anyway,
I don't like indie games, and I will be removing all of the indie games from my wish list.
God. Shush. All right, last thing. You ready for tinfoil hat time?
I'm super ready. My head is bleeding. My tinfoil hat's been on so long.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So, I got a lot of this information from TechSpot as well as this Holophonics Studios YouTube video. So there's this new thing that's been happening for like maybe the past 5 or 6 years, and it's happening at the University of Calgary in Alberta, where there's these video game archaeologists, and what they're doing is going through old games and old code to see how like people use like the Atari 2600 and like the Super Nintendo, and how they use these like algorithms and these little snacks and like these little cheat codes and stuff. Basically, they're not really cheat codes, but like these interesting breakdowns in the code to make things really small and really compact because they had very, very limited space, obviously.
Yeah.
So the Atari, there's this game that came out, and I actually played this game when I was a kid. I know, I'm old. We always joke about how I'm a million years old. I loved your comment of 102, you said? On the 105. I'm sorry, on Twitter. How dare I? I must be forgetful.
Yep. Too bad I'm not like everyone else. So, oh my God, no, you're so young. You look like you're here. Todd is awesome. 18.
So let's go back to 1982. Neither of us were born, luckily. But this is when
Luckily.
I know, right? But this is when the Atari 2600 came out, and a fuck ton of games followed at this time. And like, if we didn't have the Atari 2600, we obviously wouldn't have consoles. We wouldn't have like the gaming industry that we have now. Even with like the fucking like downfall in the like late 80s and the early 90s, that doesn't matter.
We wouldn't have back in my day gamers.
I know. I forget your baby. But so there's this game called Entombed. And this is like one of the first games that used procedural generation in order to create these mazes in this game. And one of the things of being like an older game and an Atari game, you would have random encounters during your procedural generation that just wouldn't work properly, and you would be forced to restart the game. One of the most notorious one is actually Dagger Falls by Bethesda. You know, like it's almost impossible to beat because it's all procedural generation and it doesn't work, unfortunately. And so this team of people have been working on this game, trying to decode this code since 2016. They've been working on this for 4 years, trying to figure out how this procedural generation. In fact, it got so frustrating for them that they reached out to the original head programmer, Steven Sidley, and they asked him how this fucking works. And he's like...
And then a week later, he wound up dead. They're not allowed to say.
Dead. No, he's alive and well. But he said, he's like, the basic maze generation routine had already been written And it was written by a stoner who had left the company, and he himself didn't.
Stoner?
He quoted as a stoner, and I'm quoting this. And he contacted.
Oh my god! Maybe he like dropped DMT and like had a holy experience, and we'll never get this code cracked because it's like magical.
Not, because that's exactly what he said. He said, I quote, "The basic maze generation routine had been partly written by a stoner who had left. I contacted him to try to understand what maze generating algorithm did. He told me he came up to it when he was drunk and whack out of his brain. He coded up the assembly, which is fucking hard as shit to figure out, overnight before passing out, and now for the life of him could not remember how the algorithm itself works." Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not saying aliens, but aliens.
Well, it's either aliens or aliens.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. So the thing that makes this code so special is like because I told you I played this game when I was a kid, and it's a simple maze game, and you always have a way to get out, and you always have it will never ever fuck you.
You know, the things that I've discovered about old ass technology like this are nowhere near as profound. Like, remember the little football game? The little handheld thing? If you just hold down right, you'll never get tackled.
Obviously, you're hacking.
It's not as profound as this, but it also was pretty cool when I discovered that.
For sure.
Damn! That's amazing. Because coding is like, usually you just have to look at it. Especially, like, I wonder, let's get John Carmack on this. Not some fucking university students. Right. You know what I'm saying?
It's done in assembly, which is incredibly archaic and, like, super cryptic. Nobody uses assembly anymore unless you're a madman. And, because, like, I've only seen it once, and I'm like, nope, not for me. Like the oldest programming that I ever learned was in C, and I did C# and C++ back when I was in high school, and that was a million years ago, and now there's all kinds of crazy shit. I think the worst thing was Python, which is fucking gross, but that's beside the point. Oh, and Java, obviously. Don't get me started on Java. But,
okay. What are your thoughts on Java?
Piece of shit!
Damn, started and stopped.
Yep, that's my whole 2 cents on Java. But no, it's interesting to see people going back to try to solve current game problems with these older games, and they're still not able to figure out how they work. And going to Retro Expo last year, when I went during September, I think? I don't remember. There's still people who are programming old Nintendo games and old Atari games, and I just want to pick their fucking brain on how they're able to do it. Like, they're still producing these old unlicensed games for, like, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, and Atari and shit like that.
Yeah, there is a company, and I can't fucking... I think they're called Limited Release Games. Do you know who they are? I think that's what they're called. They will do re-releases of old ass games, and they'll like remake and redesign cartridges if necessary. Shit. Like, and they'll bundle it in like a pseudo new collector's edition, and it's pretty fucking cool. Some of the shit they come out with.
I'll have to check that out because that sounds cool as fuck.
And they it's true. They only do limited runs, so when you miss it, you miss it. And I think it seems like it always sells out. So, kind of dope.
There's definitely still a market for like older games. It's so fucking cool. It just
don't try to tell GameStop that. Though.
GameStop, they could suck a wiener.
Did you see the thing, by the way? This was a couple weeks ago where Reggie was like having to tell people off on Twitter. Because they would send him like their minute fucking little squabbles at their local GameStop, and he's like, you're gonna want to fucking go to this Twitter account for that. This is not the place to be doing that.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah, no, that's fucking, I love Reggie. Good for him.
Anyway, I like old games, but I don't like. The oldest I go back is like, I mean, a little bit in the 90s. Definitely, like I still like Star Wars Dark Forces and shit like that, but mostly it's the early 2000s where my nostalgia lies.
Yeah.
And a lot of that shit is still widely available.
Yeah,
you know?
like I would definitely say like some of my favorite experiences were like maybe the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 64, but even the Super Nintendo too. Fucking hands down. I still remember the fucking PlayStation 1 sound effect as soon as that like comes on.
Oh, so
every time
good.
I hear it, and the PlayStation 2, and like it just brings me back to my childhood because we used to have this really shitty basement that we were building out slowly, and so the floor was concrete because we hadn't gotten carpet in, and so me and my brother would be downstairs in the basement with our fucking old ass huge bubble TV. And just remembering the fucking PlayStation sound, I could feel the concrete on my ass.
That's awesome. I bet that sounded loud as shit, too, because it'd be echoey as fuck.
That fucking thing would echo throughout the whole basement. Like, it's like 1,000 square feet down there, and it was just like, boom! And it was great.
It was so awesome.
Good.
That's really cool.
Anyway, so that's it for the news. What do you guys think about these video game archaeologists? I think this is cool as fuck. I don't know how you guys as the listeners think, but I think this is hella cool. Finding out this is.
I hope there's like a proper documentary about this someday, because that would be real neat to watch.
That would be so fucking dope. No clip. Contact them, please. Work with the University of Calgary, please. Best friends, anyway. Hey, Portz. Where can people find you on the internet?
This podcast. And also on Twitch and Twitter. The Real Portz. Yes, with a Z. With the Z's on sorry. Word association. Fair. It's fun. Where can people find you, Benet?
They can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Evil Space Bunny. That is me.
Is it Evil Space Bunny?
Evil Space Bunny, as in outer space, and we go there sometimes.
Outer space.
Outer space.
Oh. In space.
And he looks up. Oh, I fucking love that clip.
It's so good. It's so good. I might just end the podcast with that sound bite.
Space. You gotta look up when you do it. It has to be a thing.
I did. I literally did. You can't not.
Because Tim Curry's a fucking.
I'm even doing the little giggle in between. In space. He must have spit all over his fellow people in that room.
I fucking hope so. But those people are,
but they were honored
and blessed to be in the presence of an amazing human being.
Oh, it's so good.
Anyway, also don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Ignore Backlog, and you can always harass us with your video game archaeologist finds. That would be awesome.
Or literally anything else you want. We're so desperate. Whatever you say to us, we'll read aloud on here.
If you say, I want
not whatever, but it's like most stuff.
Like how Portz wants to suck my wiener. Yeah.
Yeah, say that. Tweet us. Tweet us something we already know. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And Bunny, thanks for being here.
For being awesome. I got nothing.
You got it. I thought you were going to do the stay safe, don't die.
Yeah, please stay safe. Good luck, have fun, and stay safe, people. All right? We love you. Okay, I'm ending this now. Bye.
Bye. Doesn't it?
Wait.
Do you want to suck my wiener? Like, a wiener to me is like a flappy wiener dog.
I'm dying. I'm fucking dead.
Guess what's going in the intro, bitches?